Happy Happy Tuesday. Oh, now, nope. Technically, it's not Tuesday. We got 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Let's all just sit in a moment of silence until it's midnight. And technically, it'll be a Midnight Express. Nah, let's not do that. Welcome to the Midnight Express. This should be a tight 1 hour romp around pop culture. Nothing really big happened today. We've covered everything over the weekend. This is just going to be open topic. Hopefully, you guys don't take us down rabbit holes that end up in extra hours being added on. But if you'd like to donate to the Sci-Fi Center's to channel to improve the aesthetics and some of the stuff that we've been doing lately, go ahead and use the Streamlabs link that is tied to the top of the. Let's see where I put it in here. Oh, wow, you guys are loading up the chat already. I've already lost my chat, but it's pinned to the top. There you go, right there. There you go. Or you can also join the Patreon. I got something that I'm planning for the Patrons. That's just going to be exclusively for the Patrons. So you can always no, it's going to be things. When I use the Patreon for private stuff, there you go. It's going to be for stuff that we cannot do on YouTube because of copyright. So it'll be when I do something that's like that on Patreon, it's going to be pretty much private. So that we can play music, we can play a movie within just the Patreon community, without having to worry about anything. Because as long as it's not a public stream, there's no algorithm to pick up. So yeah, you can join the Patreon, or you can donate outright to the Sci-Fi Center. And if you have a question or anything, I'll do my best to answer it. How are you doing, Brad? Have you recovered from the weekend?
Yeah, I'm mostly sane, but after that, well, I mean, of course, as everybody probably, a lot of people were aware, the return of Jon Stewart, the Daily Show tonight. That was that gave me a very, very good laugh, very good trip down memory lane, because of course I was a big fan of his tenure, and that definitely healed the hole in my soul that was created over the weekend with this new watch party we've got to do at a non-specified date now.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be. I don't know if it's going to be a Saturday or Sunday thing. I already have everybody wants to do 300. I guess that's the next one we're doing. I guess that's one of the ones, last one. It's either 300 or Man of Steel. I don't feel like doing Sucker Punch, to be honest with you. But, if we get down to the last bare bones movie, I'd rather watch Rebel Moon again than Sucker Punch, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not a horrible movie, but I don't want to sit through that movie again.
You're not a fan?
Not of all his movies, it's my least favorite one, because it's just there's just the subject. I just didn't connect with it like I connected with it.
Well, we haven't gotten the Snyder cut of that yet, so I guess you got to wait on that.
I'm not looking for one on that one. No offense. I just was out of all the Snyder movies. That's the bottom of the list for me. It goes. I guess for me, it would go Watchmen. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Actually, no. Watchmen, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, BVS. $300. That's a top tier list, though. Those are all like, it's not a big drop off until it gets to
well, and actually, speaking of the man, because we did actually get a little bit of news pertaining to Justice League today. I'm going to go ahead and pull up here. I don't know if everybody saw this, but a little thing was shared on Instagram by concept artist Gerard S. Marantz, and I'll go ahead and pull up right now. He shared an early concept art for Hal Jordan Green Lantern on Instagram. So this was shared by the DC Films News Twitter. So incredible time working on Justice League such a long time ago. But Stormy is one of my artistically fulfilling jobs in my career. It was a great team of artists working in both the US and UK. Working with costume designer Michael Wilkinson was wonderful. So I'll go ahead and just pull them up individually here. So this is all concept art. Of course, we've seen what the Wayne T. Carr would look like, as Green Lantern, as Jon Stewart Green Lantern. But this is Hal Jordan, and of course, Zach revealed he would have liked to brought back a Ryan Reynolds for that. So that would have been pretty cool. And I love too. I love that the hologram lantern there. That I think that's just we saw that with y'all.
The history story too, with the history lesson.
Yeah, with Yalin Gur, and you had the lantern emblem on the chest. You had the hologram above it. I thought that's just such a cool design to that. So got some here, and it's cool. They even the concept art even has the white gloves and the white boots from the comics. That is because it's pretty much just all green in the 2011 movie. Here we go. That. So yeah, there's a little bit of look at Hal Jordan as he was the concept art conceived him for the movie that eventually became Zack Snyder's Justice League, although he was not featured, nor was Jon Stewart, despite being filmed. Obviously, there were plans for them in JL 2 and 3. Maybe someday we'll get to see that. We all would very much like that, but we just gotta wait and see.
Yeah, 2 and 3. I think we'll get something over the next decade or so. I don't think we'll ever see Justice League 2 or 3. I think we'll get something that consolidates the story and gets to the heart of the.
Well, you suggested a few different things. I mean, you've talked about like Kingdom Come. I've heard you talk about like give us like a 10 episode like max series to kind of wrap it up and things like that.
The Blu-ray release on the 10th anniversary.
But you know what? Again, I'm never not going to bring this up too. Is the fact that he filmed the scene with Wayne in his driveway. Zach did, and of course that was he was going to be in the final scene, meeting Bruce and setting up everything, the nightmare and the conflict with Darkseid to come. And the Warner Brothers management at the time told him, no, we want you to take that out because we got our own plans for Green Lantern. So that's why he swapped it out for Martian Manhunter. What were those plans? And it's
here's the thing, though, they got chased from their jobs. So the thing about it is their plans never came to fruition, and they got chased from their jobs. And now we got a new guy who has something else he wants to do. But like I said, and this is why I don't advocate a long Justice League 2, 3, Man of Steel 1, 2, 3, make the Batfleck movie. I think all you're really doing is picking up a anvil, a 2-ton anvil, and just saying, here, take this. And nobody wants to take that anvil right now. And I can understand why they wouldn't. But at the same time, like I said, you could do Kingdom Come without having connecting anything. You should have done Kingdom Come, in my opinion, first just as a big blast off from those characters and a big blast off to your characters. No one was really thinking, in my opinion. They were just scrambling. None of these guys really knew what they were doing because, remember, James Gunn's never ran a studio before. David Zaslav's never ran a company like this before.
Ran a film studio before,
yeah, like this. So they, the benefit of the doubt is that none of the people knew what they were doing when they were first making some of these decisions. As they've gone on, like I said, as I've had a time to look at what he may be doing, and I'm willing to give him a bit of the doubt without. I don't think it's fair to take, hey James, here's this 2,000-pound anvil, even though it may be beneficial for them overall. I can understand the fact that it's too much, and then you got people that are going to want everything. Like I said, 2 and 3. If you really should be realistic about getting something that just ends that story arc. And like I said, when you want something like that, you have to speak the language of the people you're talking to. And when you walk up to people saying Justice League 2 and 3 and Batfleck and Man of Steel 5, 10, and 12, they're just going to look like you're fucking crazy. Even if you mean well, even if you are passionate and well-intentioned, you are no longer talking the language of the people that you want something from.
Well, part of the reason why I bring that up too is like if there is one element of that whole finishing of the movie and getting it out there of ZSGL, there's one part of that struggle that I am going to be petty about. It's going to be the Green Lantern part, because they were absolutely bullshitting what they say. Oh, we totally have far better plans that we take precedent over this.
100% guarantee they're gone. See what I mean? I'm on board with that sentiment.
I know they're gone. I just like throwing shade at Hamada. So
yeah, they are no longer a part of the game. And like I said, if we want anything, we got to talk to the people that are there now in the language that they understand. And like I said, you talk to them in things that make money without them having to take a huge risk. Physical media is dirt fucking cheap to make. And the kind of stuff that I'm talking about is not the kind of stuff that's dying. The collectible industry, when it comes to, there's so many other places that aren't anchored by physical media that, like I said, if they saw that, like my idea, if they saw that planet Earth looked like a globe twisting around and being scorched by the the boxes, the mother boxes, that kind of stuff sells. If you see a Batmobile in the shape of a DVD case and that comes with 2 action figures, that kind of stuff sells to everybody. Even if the bargain, variety stuff, the average, the Blu-ray is no longer moving. It can no longer, sustain big businesses keeping it. There are places that still carry that stuff and that will sell that stuff and different editions of the stuff. So, take your story, put it in there. Also, like I said, I advocate more than anything it being in a 12 issue
paper form,
because I cannot believe that this is not something that's not happening already. They're comic book characters. Why? What is so mind blowing about telling a comic book story in a comic book that if we didn't have those comic books and those characters, we wouldn't have any of this. So I think it would be an excellent way to get that story out there. Because once again, people are fighting for these fantasies and wanting to basically hate everybody going forward when you don't have a realistic plan of doing anything. The most realistic plan of getting the story out there. You have no ammo right now. Everybody that wants to see one more second of any of this stuff has no ammo. All they have is passion. Passion doesn't mean shit when it comes to talking to people like this. You got to have a plan and you have to articulate it and say, this is what this would cost. This is your return on your investment. This is where this could potentially go. But if you offer somebody something that's pennies on the dollar to make, which comic books are fucking papers and staples, even in deluxe editions, that's easy. Their markup on comic book is huge. Their risk on comic book is huge. It's kind of the reason why they kind of left their comic division for dead before James Gunn came along, because it doesn't cost a lot to run. It doesn't make them a lot of money, but it doesn't cost them anything. It's just there for IP. So that's the kind of thing that we should be focusing on.
Well, anyway, I didn't want to take up a whole stream with it tonight, but I mean, it's kind of like what you say. It's like there was a hard catalyst, to discuss something related to this tonight. So I did want to bring up that concept art, and it's kind of like I said, something. Hopefully, we get to see some of that in the.
We need to be hoping there's a company that still exists in a
that's true, man.
Stuff. Because right now, even if you guys, anybody who's supporting one thing one way or another, if you're in full support of James Gunn and hope everything goes well, without WBD as a stable entity, we ain't getting shit. So be careful.
Yeah. Right. But what are your and also real quick, I thought I'd just your thoughts on just your thoughts on the concept art, but also the idea of Zach potentially bringing back Ryan Reynolds for Hal Jordan. What were your kind of thoughts on both of those?
I think that would be bad because Ryan Reynolds is a beloved star, and he makes money out of movies that generally don't look like they have a chance to make money. He's a figure that people just like, and the fact that the Deadpool guy, you have him connected to a lot of IPs. I'm not into a lot of his movies. I don't dislike Ryan Reynolds, but he's in a lot of movies that I just don't have any.
I mean, I think outside of Deadpool, and outside of Deadpool and Free Guy, he is almost these days kind of more known as being an entrepreneur than
I know more about his Aviation Gin than I know about his movies. So but I think that would be a good marketing move now, more so than when he originally thought about it. So
if you had Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan, tied into the putting the bow on the Snyder arc, that would definitely be that bring a lot of commercial viability to it. But I thought that concept art was pretty solid too.
I'd have him in Kingdom Come because Hal Jordan does a Green Lantern.
Yeah, older Hal Jordan. Although he doesn't age either.
Yeah. Or you'd have to age him up. But yeah, Kingdom. My hashtag has been hashtag make the damn miniseries, dude. Make the hard about that, and then hashtag Kingdom Come, because even without the Snyder arc, you really left a lot of money on the table. Just forget about just this one last movie with, especially now with The Rock. Hey, listen, you guys want to shit on The Rock? You literally now.
The Rock is like he's somewhere laughing right now, but he's like
people who want to show The Rock is ego because The Rock's the only one in entertainment with an ego.
Newsflash, everybody, you don't reach. It's not a disparaging comment to say the guy that it's in many ways it's a compliment to say people who reach the level of stardom as The Rock, as James Gunn, as Zack Snyder. These guys all have egos. It's not in their profession. It's not it's not a hindrance. If anything, it's a necessity.
They're
not. It's not egomania in the sense of just being an asshole. It's an egomania. It's egomania in the sense of knowing your worth.
That's the difference between those people and us. Right? That's why they're the 1% and we're the other 99%.
But I hear people who, and I watch a lot of wrestling podcasts and stuff, people who are my go-to people with information, they looked at this and they went hook, line, and sinker for the whole angle. Well, The Rock tried this in DC. And I'm like telling you, yeah, he should have. Because The Rock looked around in the room and saw that he was the only one in there that actually gave a shit about what was coming. So he did what anybody was supposed to do. And like I said, the only people that were dogpiling on him are the people who will never risk shit in their life. That's generally the only people that really take shots at these big people, are these people that are in the 1% that are up there taking the risks. The people who can't, the people who won't. You know, I would rather praise the person, I don't care what the result is, for taking his shot than I will ever respect the person standing at the bottom, looking at the guy crossing the top rope. The no risk taker at the bottom from the safety of his keyboard that wants to take shots at people like that. I'm like, that could have been you up there, but you took the 99% route, and that's fine. But don't take shots at the 1%er. I mean, damn. All right, let's hit the chat.
Yeah, but yeah, I did want to open up with that because I thought that was some pretty good concept art, especially again with the white gloves and the white boots, because again that's comic accurate. And it's like, oh, it's like that's a nice touch, and it's it's modifying it to make it look as ethereal in live action as you would need a Green Lantern suit to look. How's it going, Spider-Man? How's it going,
Spidey? What's going on, man?
Yes, I did, and it was hilarious seeing Jon Stewart's return tonight on the Daily Show.
I'll watch the clips.
Yeah, they put out like a not the whole thing, but they put out like a 7-minute chunk of the show tonight. So I shared that
because I never watched that show before. I just watched clips from the Comedy Channel, but I never really.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how probably a lot of people have caught that in the last 10, like with Trevor Noah.
John Oliver, though, I watched John Oliver because he had fucking Mickey Mouse coming out there. That was so fun. He had the public domain. He come out.
Let's see. Oh, so they made it Friday instead of Sunday. Yeah, it was incredible, especially the end.
Yeah, they did that to avoid this. Holy shit! The Super Bowl, the most watched Super Bowl ever. I saw somewhere. I don't know what the stats are. The most watched combined TV show ever. You know how long TV's been around, people?
Like around since like 48.
You know how many? This is the 58th Super Bowl, and that's something. And once again, another person people were trying to polarize. All those Swifties out there, you can thank them because you know damn well they were watching in there. They added on that audience. They piled on that audience, and it was cool to have the Super Bowl here in Vegas, man. Everybody made money. Everybody did well. So I'm happy.
By the way, I'll slight spoiler for Jon Stewart tonight, because obviously a lot of it was talking about the election, and one of the correspondents held up like a Joe Biden 2024 shirt, and Jon Stewart said, "Hey, you got his name velcroed on there. What's really behind that?" And she pulls it back, and it says Taylor Swift 2024.
She could probably win. She could probably win. I mean. That woman is like what Oprah was at her height, but
this country, it's like again, like Ray has suggested The Rock, and it's like it's kind of a fact of this country. It's like you almost kind of need a little bit of like celebrity.
As long as they don't run for office, if they want to be out there supporting, I don't care. But if you are not qualified, just like I said, she's as qualified to run the country as Joe Biden is of singing blank space, whatever. All right, next one.
That's it's going through a little bit here. Okay, how's it going, Ruth? Good morning, William. Yes. Yeah, we hope you're well today after whatever killing spree you were on over the weekend. Anybody tuning, by the way, anybody tuning in for the first time tonight, so we have this running joke of like Ruth with her affinity for blood and guts and horror movies. We have this running joke that she's like secretly, like the modern day, like Jane the Ripper. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, whenever she's been on streams, it's like and we say like if you turn like if you just turn the camera around, like you would see like a whole bunch of like corpses hanging from nooses.
Just people tied up.
Yeah, I still think
trying to break
women are involved in, but not sure who killed Annie. I guess Clark is suspect number 1.
Oh no! Well, the mining. Are you talking about the mining company? The mining company. They pretty much admitted it was them. That last episode, spoiler by people,
they pretty much admitted that it was them. It's just a matter of who actually, but there's no way that it's not at that Herbert Hess. There's no way. But like I said, we got an action-packed show coming this Saturday or Sunday with that, so we will definitely be covering that.
Yeah, how's it going, Daniel?
How you doing, Martin?
My numbers kept coming up. Not sure you mean there, man.
Are you talking about like gambling, Super Bowl?
Clarify.
Oh, and yeah. Speaking of the, anybody seen that one video? Because somebody took this and this tweet went viral. They said, "Oh yeah, this is like 49ers fans during the Super Bowl," and it was the one guy in his apartment when the basketball game doesn't go his way, and he throws the remote in the chair at the TV and just destroys the TV because he lost a bet on that game. Yeah, this is what 49ers fans were feeling.
That's why I don't gamble, because you could literally you could lose your ass, man. You could lose a field goal kicker misses an extra point, and that's it. You could be out in the street. So yeah, I don't mess around with that.
Well, just make sure the laces are out every time. How's it going, Bradley?
Hi, Brad. What's going on?
Yes, people are interested. Yeah, I've been looking on Reddit. Some people think the Crab Company women use their flash freezing machine to kill the researchers.
Oh, okay. That's a. I'm gonna have to revisit that one, Larry.
Bradley, Brad, did you see that someone leaked David Zaslav's business arrest yesterday? Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard I saw people talking about that. So that's and of course that's obviously part of the Coyote versus Abney backlash, and probably all the general backlash he's gotten. But that's pretty crazy.
That's crazy is not the word. Stupid. What kind of fucking moron do you have to be to take that kind of action? What is wrong with you to do that? Have you lost your fucking mind to do that over a fucking cartoon? A cartoon that you would have never even known of until they cut it. You're going to dock somebody and do some stupid shit like that. That's stupid. That makes me embarrassed to be a fan of anything. Say your piece. Do your thing on your Twitter or whatever. But when you start doing shit, and by the way, it's probably most people know where he lives anyway, and he's probably very well protected. You're probably going to end up getting killed trying to get to him if you're trying to.
Well, you could also, the thing about this is why again you don't go off the mob mentality on things like this. I don't know if everybody knows the story about after the incident with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin, where Trayvon Martin was killed. Somebody put on Twitter, they put up what was purporting to be George Zimmerman's home address, and a lot of people retweeted it, including Spike Lee, and it turned out it was the wrong address, and it sent people to this unconnected couple's house, so they had to deal with all kinds of harassment and death threats and shit like that. And of course he had to settle out of court with them too. And it's yeah, you don't do that because you're gonna get somebody killed. Uninvolved people, yeah.
Over Wile E. Coyote, what is reset your brain? Whatever reset button is it's a cartoon. If that's why they're doing it, I don't know if that's exactly why they were doing it, but
I would imagine it's related.
There's no reason. There's no entertainment reason. There's no human reason for you to go that far. It's a cartoon. You didn't get a cartoon that you wanted to see, so you're gonna go commit crimes. You're going to put people's, because there's crazy people out there. You don't know how you're putting that information out there. You're assuming that what is your ultimate into that if you're doing something like that?
Yeah, obviously it's. People, whoever would share that would claim some kind of plausible deniability. Your goal is to inflict violence or at least harassment on them. And obviously, and as William said, it's I would even say it's don't do that. Going back to the Trayvon Martin story, it's that's where somebody did get killed, and it's this is obviously intended for retribution. Still don't do it in that situation because you're going to
listen. We have a legal system, and it doesn't always work the way I want to. But we're not. This isn't Beirut. This isn't Beirut in the 1980s. All right, this isn't El Salvador in 1986. We have a system in place. That's what makes us different from all these other second and third world countries. Is that regardless of how it comes out, that's the system we have. And once you start eroding things, and same thing we hear, common sense and human decency, once that starts eroding, over Wile E. Coyote, are you serious? Are you next question?
Yeah. And by the way, whoever did that, you don't get to say Snyder fans are toxic anymore either. Just saying. I'm just gonna put that out there. Okay, I did.
Any fan that does that, dude,
Yeah,
you need to
that's
put out of the
bullshit.
fandom.
Yeah.
You need to get. I don't care for Star Trek, Star Wars, Wile E. Coyote. If that's what you're doing, you are embarrassing us as fans. You are the reason why people look at all of us as a bunch of psychos, and it doesn't matter what fandom is, what fandom you follow. There's a line. There's got to be a line where you just start using your brain. All right, next question.
Yes, Donut Max Ruth. Yes, we all love that.
Change it to Ruth the Ripper.
Oh, she also said ACS gave Liam an awesome shout out last night in his daily news stream. Okay.
Oh yeah, I got a chance to see that. Yeah, he covered our event on Thursday, the Netflix thing, and he covered our fundraiser. Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, man. He's been of course on here with us a couple of times.
Yeah, he was on the actual one where we did on the Full Circle event.
Yeah, and where we shared some military stories between the two of you.
Oh yeah, we went back and forth.
I'm very excited about episode 6, and the fact that I can't wait to know the truth is a great sign in terms of how well produced it is. I'm nervous. There's so many loose ends to wrap up in just one.
Yeah, I wonder how long that episode, because all the episodes have been really long. This one's got to be at least about an hour and 20. I hope, because they got a lot to cover. But they've done it. They've carried the story so far. I trust these guys to land the plane, so I'm ready for it. Sunday night's going to be big.
Yeah. How's it going, Aaron?
Hi, Aaron.
So no, it was not based on a comic. It was actually Zack Snyder's. Sucker Punch was the first movie Zack made that was not adapted from an existing source material. It was like Rebel Moon or Army of the Dead. It was his kind of his own brainchild. So, but yeah, Sucker Punch, that's its own thing.
Yeah, I don't hate Sucker Punch. It's my least of them.
And don't forget about Zack's. It's like I actually think that's his most underrated. Is Owls of Ga'Hoole is his animated owl movie.
That's why nobody knows about it.
Yeah, because it did because I didn't see it theatrically when it came out. Because honestly, I think the marketing did do it a lot of favors because the marketing was pretty muted. Because again, it's a gorgeous movie. It is absolutely breathtaking. So yeah, if anybody hasn't seen Owls of Ga'Hoole, I definitely recommend that. Should show that to my nephew sometime because it's I think it's Zach's only PG movie, but it's still it's a PG movie by his standards, so it's still got a lot of intensity. But it's something you could show to a kid pretty easily, I would think. The design is cool, but I'm glad he wasn't in ZSJL. Felt fine with the amount of characters that are already there. Well, I mean, Green Lantern, it's either Hal, John, or any human Green Lantern. But obviously, it was just going to be a cameo. But yeah, still very much. Again, the story they sold is like you can't have a cameo because we got plans that are just so spectacular that they press over this and they produce diddly squat for it until they all get shown the door. So yeah, that's my thoughts on those knuckleheads who run the studio. I don't think we'll ever see the Green Lantern scene while it was shot. It was never completed. Yeah, well, I mean, it's like we at least got that image with that was at least completed. That shows the suit and the
2016 10th anniversary of BBS. Put it all out there.
Yes, please do.
David Ayers, whatever. Well, that's your best shot right there.
Yeah, well, again, like I've said, there's multiple anniversary. There's 2016, there's 2017, there's 2019 because that's when we did the Twitter event that kind of got the whole thing across the line. And then there's 2031. That's the 10-year anniversary of the movie getting released. So there's kind of a few coming up on the horizon that you could kind of capitalize on that.
I say 2 years, just blow it all out there, make it a good year.
Yeah.
And line it up with whatever's going on with James Gunn stuff. Line it up so that it not only you're just putting it out there for nostalgia, you're putting it out there to it's part of DC.
Donating to the cause is just like you using the One Ring, doing something good unleashes incredible evil.
Where are we at with our fundraiser, by the way? We still at 71.
Yeah, because because the fundraiser partly pulled me into this, into the seventh circle of hell that is God.
What was my promise last night? If we reach it by the 25th,
if we reached like 10 grand by the 25th, like they could put any whatever garbage they want us to sit through up.
What did I say for 8 grand? What did I say for 8 grand?
Well, I don't think you said anything specific as far as one. They say, yeah, you guys pick it. We'll do a watch party with it. Let me go in the chat.
Oh no, it was what was it? It was
Yeah, we're still
Deadpool.
7,100.
Yeah, Deadpool. They wanted me to watch Deadpool, and I'm like, I'll watch. Pick whatever Deadpool movie you want.
Deadpool.
Oh no, 8,000. 8,000. We reached Deadpool. We reached 8,000. By the end of by the end of the week or something like that. I'll have to watch the show.
And we're still at 7,100 right now. But Deadpool is a far, 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 far better movie than any of the scary movies. I don't know how. Again, Chappie,
I have
you
the
guys
same amount of use for scary movie as I did for Deadpool. I just don't have any something. I will make the time of day for it if we make it worth it. So.
You guys are going, Clint, Chappie, all you guys. There's like you were going to have to like be again like OJ getting acquitted level of lawyering on this to ever persuade me of any artistic merit to that franchise, the scary movie franchise.
It's all subjective. Next one.
All right. Let's see. 5-movie Arcist. Yeah, Spider-Man said that before. Definitely with you there, man. Nightmare Timeline series would be so cool. Yes, it would. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's basically Mad Max Fury Road with the JL.
Put it on paper.
I would pay. Oh, I think he's talking about your box set ideas.
Yeah,
I think I'd pay top
a lot of people
set.
Like I said, it would look cool when you walk by it. People who aren't even entrenched into this stuff are gonna buy that, especially if you release it around the holidays. Dude, people will buy that. People will buy that just even if they don't have the Blu-ray player, they're gonna buy it just for the packaging, man. That's what they do, man. So yeah, people will buy it.
Yeah, well, of course, Scott of DC Squadcast. I mean, he did this is one that was a really fun vodka stream. Did you see that one where Ray Porter was on and Zack Snyder and Deborah Snyder were on, and he was unboxing that big Dark Side that he got that probably cost him like $1,500. And
I was on there when he was on. He was doing it. Zach's like, that thing's huge. Yeah, I was watching.
It's like you could like a grown man could sit on Darkseid's lap like Santa Claus with that. Yeah. I mean, I know.
I was asking where that was the other night, but yeah.
Yeah, and he kept it down in his man cave, and then Ray Porter, he coined the term because he was, his wife eventually found out about it. He mentioned, but Ray Porter said, yeah, he coined the term. Yeah, you know what that is? That's the anti-wife equation.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun episode I was watching.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, yay! All the football tourists are leaving you. Talking about Vegas, okay?
Yeah, and they're taking their money with them. So yeah, because the city really, like I said, things like this are good for the city when it's not totally reliant on gaming. That's when Vegas can be better because, like I said, 10, 15 years ago, if it did come to the gaming industry, you couldn't get anything. You couldn't get any money into anything. So I'm glad to see this diversification of our economy here.
WB stock is at a historic low, just risky, just tiny. Yeah, I mean, as William is
still under $10. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling as far as like the downward trajectory of their stock, which as we talked about, I think about 2 weeks ago, it's like, that's why we said earlier, it's like even with like James Gunn stuff, it's like this is all predicated on this studio stabilizing itself within the foreseeable future, which is like, and then they definitely have an upper hill battle to do that with a lot of these self-inflicted wounds they put on themselves.
Keep in mind, I don't want to see the company, go through this again because we're running out of time to get this right. None of us are getting any younger. I don't care how old you are. Who wants to keep going through this over and over again? And every time you go through it, it devalues. Every time you go through this and you don't stick to landing, it makes it harder for the next guy who tries. So if it's not Gunn, the next guy who tries is basically going to have a hopeless battle if we go through this reshuffling of management and ownership again. So I'm rooting for it not to happen, but I'm not a fool. I can do math. I can see where the stock was. I can see where the stock is. I read a couple of weeks ago. We read about that entire evaluation of the entire company when they downgraded it. It's just when we've seen this before. You look at it before every management shift or sale or merger happens. You kind of see the telltale signs, and everything that I'm looking at. I don't know these stockholders personally. But I don't know how patient people can be for this situation or how patient even he can see. And like I said, it's not about James Gunn. It's about his bosses that, if the bosses change, so does the mission. If the bosses change, so does the mission. I've been part of companies where that's happened. I've been part of management when that happens. I've seen everything, when the new sheriff comes in town, whether it's be by ownership or management shift, that guy, remember we said about ego, The guy in the captain's chair wants to put his stamp on things because that's his legacy. He's in the chair for a reason. So hopefully we don't have that kind of shift around. But like I said, you can only stay status quo for so long before changes are made.
Yeah. How's it going, Rhea?
Hi, Rhea. How you doing?
Did you all have a good foosball? You playing the foosball behind my back?
Oh, football day.
Yeah. Now it's a little Waterboy joke. That's for the.
Okay. I will never get that reference because I will never ever see that movie.
Well, he's he's living out in the bayou with his mother, and he gets recruited to this college football team, and she keeps calling it foosball, and then he finally confesses to her that's what he's doing. She has like, foosball, you playing the foosball behind my back? And his mother, by the way, is Kathy Bates in it. She's actually really funny in the Waterboy.
Okay.
She went from Misery to
only movie I've ever seen her in is Misery, and it sounds like it's the only one I'll ever see her in. So.
Yeah, apparently, Aaron, you got doxxed. Again, I haven't seen the address floating out there, and I'm not going to share it if I do.
And like I said, if you've ever been to LA, Burbank, or California, knowing where somebody lives and being able to actually get near them is two different things. When you have that kind of money, you live in places where, like I said, if I were to show up, anybody that didn't live in that neighborhood just comes around the corner, LAPD's there harassing you, throwing you out, trespassing you.
Yeah, you're gonna end up in jail, or you're gonna get yourself killed if you've tried to exact retribution on David Zaslav for taking the tax write-off, and Batgirl and Coyote versus Amy and all the other.
Yeah, you're gonna go to jail for comic book characters and cartoon characters. You're gonna have a felony on your record for some stupid shit. Plus, he probably lives if he lives where I think he lives, where a lot of these guys live.
Oh, he totally lives in a gated community.
It's gated community, and it's not just gated community. It's gated community with the guards are ex-military, ex-cop, good shots. So yeah, you go ahead and fuck around. Next one.
Yeah, they got a Chris Kyle out there doing bodyguard.
Yeah, you're not getting to him, but still, it's still a stupid thing to do.
I dox Williams' business address if he doesn't change his tune on Batman the Animated Series.
900 Liberace Avenue, Suite B209. I want you to come down there. I mean, I have just as much chance as somebody coming at me at Home Depot, at the Sci-Fi Center as anywhere else. I mean, I'm not hard to find. I literally walk around Las Vegas if I'm not wearing this shirt with a black version of this shirt or with the Nosferatu characters with my address on it. There's a QR code on not this one on most of our streams that literally leads you right to me. So I mean, it's part of owning a business, but like I said, I'd never giving. I mean, you want to come after me? Okay, well, I mean, you could do that now. I was like,
I have electricity. Ben Franklin is the devil.
Okay, we're phrasing and referencing movies I've never.
If you guys feel like if you want to swap out Scary Movie for the Waterboy, I will absolutely do that watch party.
I will end this fucking channel. I am not watching that movie.
Scary Movie one is hilarious. See the light, just turn off your brain, Brad. I'm gonna have to turn off my brain because that's the only tolerate that bullshit.
Just turn off your brain, Brad. Join us. It sounds like the Body Snatchers. Join us. Stop resisting. Stop resisting, Brad.
No, it's like my brain's going to remain functional, guys. It's like that's about the only way you can possibly watch that series and get anything resembling artistic worth out of it. Is you have to switch your brain off, and you not only have to switch your brain off, but you have to put it on ice for an hour and a half. I'm telling you, guys. I have no idea how this series is stood the test of time, but no, it annoys me. Wayne, Brad, you see the Stallone movie? Yeah, I did. What was that? Because I actually interviewed a few people.
I did not see it.
Samaritan, yes. Yeah, I did see that when it came out. I actually thought it wasn't bad.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
It's nice to know, Brad, you think I gave the money for the movie and you forget numbers was the start of it all. I mean, it's like William said, it's like if we clear that $7,000 mark by the stream tonight, we're doing it. So
Yeah, we're doing. I mean, like I said, that is the top priority. Because all joking aside, 2 hours of our time, 2 hours of our time to reach. When you think of all the good that money's going to do, people, and that what that organization does for people, I will watch. Like I said, we'll watch. Deadpool movies aren't horrible. You're right. I mean, Deadpool. I don't have the time for it, but I will make the time to watch it. I'm not as excited about Deadpool as everyone else is. But like I said, if I have to sit and watch those movies again, and we're breaching 8,000 or we're hitting 10,000 or we're hitting our mark, I'll watch them. There won't be any skin off my back. Next one.
Okay. See if the fuck I am fourth. One knee slap in a scary movie. It's like, yeah. When pigs fly, that's when I'll be sincerely laughing. It's there. William Bradford, still love scary movie. LOL. Then a love for the Waterboy. No, I have love for the Waterboy. You take that up with William. Okay. Someone needs to expect you guys funny bones. You're both killing me. No, the Waterboy I love.
No, I don't have a funny bone when it comes to my movies. 3Ds, baby. 3Ds. And you're new, Nick, so I don't know if I said to that. I need the 3Ds. I need death. I need dismemberment. I need destruction. The more, the better. And if you got a story in there, great. I like that too. I like mob movies, cop, dramas and things like that, intense movies like that. But there's one movie, one cast or one genre of movie that is consistently left off the list, and that's comedy. I don't pay for comedy. I don't even watch a lot of it on TV. The last comedy I paid for is historically, you guys know this if you watch this, has been Tropic Thunder, and that was funny as hell. That's probably the next, if they make a sequel to that, that's the next comedy I'm going to go pay to see.
I would be surprised if they do, actually.
Or Les Grossman, Les Grossman with Tom Cruise. I would pay to see that.
I would love that. Well, because we're coming up on we're about 2028. That'll be the 20-year anniversary. I could see them capitalizing on that.
Don't wait that long. I don't want to wait the whole other fucking 4 years. Let's do that now.
Well, yeah, that's you talk about maximizing your commercial potential.
Yeah, but you don't have to wait for a reason for that one because the Tom Cruise, you have to wait for a reason for all this other stuff. But where Tom Cruise wants to do it, let's fucking do it. But yeah, when it comes to Waterboy, I cannot stand Adam Sandler unless he's in the one movie I did like him in was Cut Gems. Is that what the movie did?
Yeah, that's not a comedy.
Yeah, but Little Nicky, I lost a bet and had to watch that stupid ass movie.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's not one.
I lost a bet with a fellow soldier, and I just sit through that god awful. That movie sucked. And all of it. I mean, I've seen. We would be watching movies in like our little movie room and overseas, and I would be there. I wasn't engaged in the movie, but I'm laying in my cot listening to these stupid ass movies that they would watch, and he'd be all cracking up and laughing. I'd look over him for a couple minutes, and I would turn over and flip over my laptop because I couldn't last 5 or 10 minutes. Some of these movies are just. But here's the thing: comedy's not my thing, though. See, human interest is not my thing. So that doesn't mean that these are bad movies. They're just not my thing. Deadpool, the tone of Deadpool is not my thing. That doesn't mean any of these movies are awful. This is not my preference. So sorry, I don't have a funny bone when it comes to this stuff. Next one.
On a funny bone, William King Powell.
Not if I'm. Listen, I like comedy every now and then. If you have a sense of humor in the movie, that's fine. But I'm not gonna go to a movie that's dedicated to that shit. No, not for me. Everybody's different.
Yeah, that's clarifying the 3Ds for Nick.
I need to come up with a graphic for this. I need to start adding a lot of graphics to the show, but I need to have a drop that has all 3Ds, baby.
That could be a shirt, actually, the 3Ds. And what you do with that is like you would just have like one big D and then like have the rest of each word, kind of come out of it.
Or you have death, which is like, a skeleton, like somebody turning into a skeleton. Dismemberment, just like have somebody getting their head taken off like cartoon wise, or like my little avatar that I have getting his head knocked off. Yeah. And then you have destruction, in which me standing in front of a nuclear blast. That's what I need to do. I need to make that happen.
Nice fat blunt. Yeah, or a couple of shots of whiskey.
And I don't do either, so I'm going to be suffering.
I don't either. So it's like, what am I going to do here?
Yeah, there's no shot at anything for me.
I do have like a vintage Merlot, just again for very special occasions. So it's like I prefer that for like special occasions, like pleasant things, like New Year's Eve or family reunions or stuff.
At my house, I still think I have the bottle of wine, or my parents' house, a bottle of wine somebody gave me for my 21st birthday, not fully believing me that I don't drink alcohol. It's just sitting there, so it's probably aged or whatever. It's probably some cheap shit, but I don't care. I'm never drinking it, so, and I think it's still there somewhere.
Billy Madison. Oh, Billy Madison. That's got to be one of the stupidest movies ever made. But if it is, I do get it. I mean,
Oh no, the Sandler verse, we can't have that. No, man. You throw that term away.
no, that it is, again, like I said, it's objectively terrible, but it's like I could definitely get a good laugh from like I could definitely get a laugh from things like this.
I have an important announcement to make.
That's the level.
That's 2 seconds. That's 2 seconds in my life I can't give back, Brad. Thank you. That's one.
I don't like modern Sandler at all, but his daughter's new movie on Netflix is actually really funny. So, well, the thing is, I've kind of hung up my hat on Adam Sandler or like in a lot, but I mean, like probably my favorite he's done actually was Zohan. You don't mess with Zohan, where he's the Israeli counter-terrorist. Which, and God, I wonder how that would play today now. But yeah, I always enjoy that because he's like he's this commando who's like so so buff and so fit. It's like he can do push-ups just by blowing onto the floor, or he he's got like he'll kick somebody in the face, just like leave his foot just hanging up there. So yeah, I do like Zohan. Anger Management, I actually thought was pretty good too, with him and Jack Nicholson.
Okay, where are we going with the show tonight? Come on, guys.
Hey.
Bring these.
Aaron's like Billy Madison. Yeah, it's funny, but it's
Let's not corrupt my show with this comedy madness. Come on. Don't we got some fun press to get through? That's not saying anything, Bradley. That's not saying much at all.
It is. Yeah, it's Billy Madison is funny, but it is objectively stupid. I will not. It's one I like, but I will not die on the hill of defending it at all. Yeah, well, you could troll me for warm glasses. Shut the hell up. Now you go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. You're in my world now, Grandma. That's that Happy Gilmore. That's another Adam Sandler classic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He has the fight scene with Bob Barker on the golf course. You suck, you jackass. Brad, one big D with it. What I'm talking about, like where you have they all start with the same letter.
Making a lewd reference to what you said.
Yes, I am well aware, but I'm gonna clean this up. Okay, you have one big D, and because all three of those words start with D, so you have the big D.
Why are you trying to explain this to him?
And you finish up the word with each one. What term can I use that he's not going to spin into something vulgar?
It's too late. It's too late.
Throw some D's on that movie.
That's right, baby.
And I think William, I think I did Ruffle His Feathers when I was like one of my first times on here, where I said, because of course Carl Weathers unfortunately passed away about a week ago. And I mean, obviously, we all remember him from as Apollo Creed and the Rocky franchise. Remember him from Predator. Remember him from the Mandalorian.
A lot of people didn't even know. A lot of these new generation people were like, "Oh, it's a guy. It's Mandalorian."
Yes, they didn't know. But and I actually on true story, it's like I didn't even share the screenshot of this. I did on Kung Fu Kingdom. This is like about 2016, I think, when I did that. I did a breakdown of the best Rocky movie fights. And we tagged him, and he responded with his hashtag BP. So that was very gratifying to see. But I before all that, it's like before I knew him as Apollo, I knew him as Chubbs Peterson.
I foresaw him as Apollo Creed because I was a kid when those movies came out. My dad, every Rocky movie that came out, we went to go see that shit. It was not the first night or first weekend we were out there watching Rocky.
I was also. Did you see when they Rocky, when they did the theater, like the one night event where they did the Stallone cut of Rocky 4?
Yeah, I didn't go, but yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, because that was it was a little bit resequenced, re-edited. I mean, they take the robot out, they kind of take out a little bit more of the sort of over the top, but it's still very over the top. I mean, it's like, how can it not be when, you know, you have Ivan Drago as your villain again, 3 and 4, like the sound effects when punches are land, those fight scenes are like, nobody's walking away alive from those fight scenes.
Nobody's getting through the first round. All those guys are dead. It sounds like they're punching cards or something in there. And I'm like, and then the sequence of punches in that fight, like we got to be hitting, like, you know, like you guys are dead. But it was Hollywood.
Or even like when they touch you, when Ivan Drago, the I Must Break You, when he slams. I mean, it's like a bowling ball coming down.
Yeah. Oh, like that guy was roided up to the gills.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing that was true, and they show that. They show him getting roided up in that movie. So
yeah, but you know, you watch the fight scenes in Rocky 3 and 4. It's like those are not realistic in terms of like what a human being could survive.
nah, and there would have been, you know, back even in the 80s, they would have never let him fight a Russian like that, simply because Russians were historical for known for doping. And you're literally putting your normal guy in there. That's one of the main reasons. First of all, it was an exhibition fight.
Yeah.
So they would have never ever let that happen in an exhibition fight. It wouldn't have been up to Rocky to throw in the towel or anything like that. The ref would have stopped the fight. The commission would have stopped. The commission's sitting right there. They would have stopped that fight. If it's an exhibition, now if it's a full-on competitive, but Apollo Creed was retired, coming out doing an exhibition. It's like when Mike Tyson did those exhibitions when he did a couple of them out here. I mean, they were just basically play fighting for the most part. They were fighting, but they weren't going all out.
It wasn't a title fight. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't. They were retired, both of them. I mean, and so they would have never ever let that happen. As soon as Drago started doing that shit, they would have rang the bell and they would have called the fight because they're liable for that. Everybody involved in that fight, if that, you know, that would have happened in real life, would have lost. They would have been permanently lost their license. Nevada, the athletic commission of wherever they are we would have never been able to work again. So the movie was fun because it was Hollywood. But first of all, like I said, they would have never put him in there with a beefed up Russian because we all knew, even the Russians in the Olympics, their swimmers, everybody was doped up, and doing all kinds of shit. That's one of the reasons why a lot of them got kicked out. But yeah, so and they're showing it in the movie. So, you know, yeah, they would have been never. And as soon as he threw one of those full-fledged punches like that, they would have been like ringing the bell, get out, because everybody would have got sued. Yeah, but it's Hollywood, so yeah, it's fun.
I mean, it's 3 and 4. They basically like turn Rocky. It's the Rocky equivalent of like a superhero movie. So
yeah, so much of my childhood movies in the 80s. As I grew up, I realized how much absolute stunning bullshit that all of my favorite movies are based on. Red Dawn, I'm like, I love the shit out of Red Dawn. I love Red Dawn. Red Dawn. I can watch Red Dawn like now, but when I look at that, I'm like, no fucking way.
Yeah, this is not. This is not. No way. You are not pulling off an invasion that easily. Sorry, and you're certainly not. And you're certainly not even trying to do it at the height of the Cold War.
They would have hit the Russians so hard that, you know, you would have never made it into they got on the commercial airplanes. I'm like, yeah, and then they would have died as soon as they hit the ground. You know, Uncle Sam would have had everything. Why they're in the parachutes? Those parachutes coming down. Remember, like those zombies in yeah, that's where we would have been waiting for you coming in there. So yeah, but it was fun though. I mean, everything in the 80s that was based on every cop movie was bullshit, but it was fun. You know, I mean, the premise is, you know, like I said, I had to suspend my disbelief to watch any Rocky movie because I'm like, you guys are all dead. But Rocky 4 in particular, because like I said, it was an exhibition match. You know, it was supposed to be an exhibition match,
and it'd be just straight up murder.
Yeah, and they would have never. The ref would have stopped that. They wouldn't have been looking at Rocky. No, the ref would have been like, there was a guy that was a Korean, like Soon Park, Ray Boom Boom Mancini. He was in a fight, and he ended up fighting, and you know, Mancini's like, "Are you going to stop the fight?" I mean, you know, but and the ref didn't, and he ends up getting a brain injury, and that guy died, and that ruined Mancini's career. He fought afterwards, but he was always holding back, and nobody wants to see that, you know, and especially in these combat sports like this, you know, if you notice, you don't have too many deaths in them. You got people getting injured and stuff, but there are very few deaths because they take safety. Because, like I said, the liability. Can you imagine? You know, who wants to be in a crowd for that? You know, that's just, you know,
yeah, exactly.
But Red Dawn and all those kind of movies in the 80s, I just realized that my childhood was laced with bullshit, but it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, Red Dawn. It's like it completely ignores the concept of mutually assured destruction during the Cold War. But
Yeah.
once you get past that,
Yeah. Once again, well, we're not. We decided not to use nukes on this one. I'm like, we wouldn't have to. In the 80s, dude, we had so many other ways to kill you. I grew up on an Air Force base. There were bombers there. The B-1 bomber, one B-1 bomber, supersonic bomber, stealth bomber, the B-117, that's all we needed. The Russians didn't have anything like that. The Russians were still using diesel submarines, man. Can you imagine? They weren't going to launch nothing against us. You know, we thought they were because everybody thought the Iron Curtain, the Russians were going to all die. And then we find out in the 90s, they didn't have shit, dude. They didn't have shit. They didn't have, I mean, their Navy was depleted, you know, because they were running when you have communism and socialism, the problem with that is, you know, with that form of government, the way they had it, because they had a socialist dictatorship for the most part, is there's not enough money coming into the free economy because it's not a free economy. And your tax system, your entire financial structure, what you use to support your military is truncated because of the way you run it. That's why the U.S. military is what it is, you know, because we have, you know, capitalism works to sustain that. And the Soviets went through decades, you know, trying to build a military based on that system, and it eventually collapsed. But yeah, it made for good movies, though, didn't it?
yeah.
Next one.
Remember the part in Billy Madison where people
no, stupid movies.
No, you're confusing it. It's actually Happy Gilmore with the grandmother, and of course those two, of course, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, those led to the creation of his company Happy Madison, which gave us, you know, all the wonderful subsequent masterpieces. Actually, another one too. I actually had this on recently. It's not technically an Adam Sandler movie, but it is from the Happy Madison assembly line. Is with David Spade's Joe Dirt. Again, it's another one where it's like it's stupid, but it's got a lot of heart, and it's I dig it. It's like he says, "Life's a garden, dig it." I dig it. So
might be the last open topic discussion.
Anger Management. Yeah, no, Anger Management is pretty. I did like
that's the one with Jack Nicholson. Did they try to make a show out of that?
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah,
well, that's like 3 episodes.
Yeah. Again, it was the one with Jack Nicholson where it's he's the anger management therapist, but he's you know, he's a little bit off his rocker too. So, the Rock. Are you saying the Rockyverse or the Rockverse?
The Rockverse.
Yeah. I think he meant the Rockyverse.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of a typo there. What else? Off topic, but who got snubbed more in the Oscars? Nick Nolte and Warrior, and Mickey Rourke and the rest. Oh, Nick Nolte, yeah. Nick Nolte is phenomenal in Warrior.
I'm gonna go say Mickey Rourke, but you know, he's one good rock and roll.
According to a list of videos I saw, America is the hardest country to invade. Well, I mean, how many times have we been invaded?
Yeah, and the closest anyone's ever come to invading us, as far as a full frontal assault from another military, would be Pearl Harbor, and then submarines. But as far as like,
and we weren't a superpower at that time either. So
yeah, we have the Five Eyes, which is Australia. And, you know, we have we have an intelligent community. We have people everywhere. We have satellite. We have ways. And that's why it hasn't happened. The only way a terrorist attack is one thing, but that was a lack of imagination, and that was 20-something years ago. And how many of those have you seen?
Yeah,
you know, we adjust very well to things.
Yeah,
so,
we were talking about like an invasion, like conquering the country. It's like that's a whole other
not going to happen. Not going to happen. We are just ready. We are ready, and we have so many resources equally balanced throughout this country. Every coast is protected. The skies, you can get a stupid Chinese weather balloon through, but like I said, that's not an invasion. You know, you may breach and get little things over there, but as far as like Red Dawn, no, I'm sorry. As soon as you heard the first Russian or the first whatever Salvador or Cuban or whatever you're talking, as soon as you heard that shit, if we would have been, first of all, like I said, if you would not have been able to land as many of them that method that they were to make a dent in our on our situation. And once they landed here, they wouldn't have been able to get resources in. They landed in like Colorado. That's the
dead of winter too.
place. That is the worst. If you were going to plan an invasion, that's actually the dumbest place you could ever invade because you're cut off from everything. That's exactly what they did in the movie. They isolated them and kept them in that middle zone, which was dumb because they had nowhere to go. They couldn't get to any coast. They couldn't get to the West Coast. They couldn't stop any financial areas. You're not getting anything. No logistics. No shipping. No nothing. So here you are parachuting. By the way, the worst way to get into a battlefield. You're parachuting in there, and you're landing there, and you can only get so many resources. And once we figured out how you got there, you think you're getting another jet in our airspace? Fuck no. So it wouldn't have just been the Wolverines killing them. Like I said, I fully expect it's Hollywood. I love it. But from a military point of view, no, Red Dawn, no. And there's another one, America. It was called America. It was a 3-night TV show where the Soviets launched a nuclear weapon 1,000 miles or over above America and shut off all our electrical and mechanical, and then basically invaded that way. And I'm like, no, again. And that was gripping drama. I enjoyed it. The moment that is the situation, there is no Russia. Well, we wouldn't have been able to retaliate. Excuse me? You ever heard of a nuclear submarine with about 24 ICBMs? You wouldn't have been able to cut them off. And we got subs everywhere, and we got nuclear weapons in other countries. You think Reagan at the time wouldn't have turned that key in a heartbeat? In a heartbeat. before their missile landed, once we identified that it was a Soviet intercontinental that did it, Russia would cease to exist.
It's game on, yeah.
Yeah, there's enough armament, nuclear armament on these submarines and in these silos all around the world that there would have been no Russia. It would have been like the next map, if you ever saw one again, would not have Russia on it. That's how bad it is. So yeah. But it's fun though. That's what I mean. It's bullshit, but it's fun bullshit. My 80s childhood was filled with absolute phenomenal bullshit, but it was fun. I loved it.
Bradley says I can never get into JoJo. It's like, yeah, I guess.
You see the mullet? I saw the mullet, and I'm like, okay. Next.
Well, it's also it's a wig that they put on because his brain was exposed, so or something like that, and that's also bullshit because like if you're born with the top of your skull, like as he says, like they put this wig on to you because my brain was exposed and then the bones grew together. Like no, it's like you've got a life expectancy of about 5 minutes at that point if you're born without the top of your skull.
Yeah. Next.
Brad is a goat roper. Well, you're a pig licker, Monkey Jeebus. That's a Joe Dirt joke, everybody. You weren't aware. When have you been tipped?
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it make the sound? Hold on. I gotta fix my sound. Hold on, guys. Let me fix this. Hold on. Test widget. Come on. See? Why doesn't it do it? Well, here. You did it twice. There you go. All right. 9 minutes ago. Yes, 20. Pull up the video of Predator musical. You guys will love it, and I'm pretty sure it's not a copyright thing. Go ahead.
Here's
it. You find it?
To find what?
Oh, Predator the musical.
Oh,
who wants to settle that up? Hold on.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Predator musical. So.
I'm just finding out about this right now. Hold on.
By the way, I'm going to pull this up too because this is kind of plays in everything you were just saying. I'm curious how the movie Civil War is going to depict some things in regards to believability. I mean, Williams always said,
we talked about that.
We don't have like in a modern context, like civil wars are going to flame out pretty easily because I mean the country is going to want to get back to normalcy as soon as possible.
Yeah. Like I said, if you think a civil war is going to work like that, just think about COVID. We had people getting in fights over wearing masks. We had people claiming everything was a conspiracy because they didn't want anybody disrupting their normal lives. No, nobody did. We could barely get through COVID when we had people dropping dead and suffocating all around us. We could barely get through COVID with any type of restrictions. Could you imagine what a civil war would do? Nobody wants this, dude. Everybody wants to go to the bar, watch the game, get their latte and all that. They are not giving up that life because some goons want to start a war. They're gonna, as soon as that shit starts, the smart people are gonna be like, let's see who's gonna win here. Jethro, in his bunker that he can't leave because the kid in Tampa is going to kill him with a drone, or the United States military with Apaches and Griffins and Hellfire missiles and volunteer army.
The guy with the nuclear codes handcuffed to his wrists.
Yeah, we would never use that, but we wouldn't need to. We would be able, like I said, well, with Vietnam and Afghanistan, we had to get on ships and planes and to go over and invade another country. We're already here. We're on home turf. We're on home turf. Uncle Sam controls every inch of it. You wouldn't be able to gather like in Hollywood where I got 1,000 people and let's storm this. Yeah, January 6th happened, but here's the thing now about January 6th. That's a riot. You're talking about a full strategic war. You're talking about a full strategic war, and now you're doing it after January 6th, so the tolerance level is going to be at 0. So like I said, you're going to have a little thing like this. It's going to look like a little, game controller. Some A1C, Airman First Class in Florida or somewhere, maybe Vegas, Creature Air Force Base. He's going to have a video game right here. He's going to be playing Mario Kart. Right here, he's going to be playing Mario because it won't take him that long to kill you. He's going to play Mario Kart on this screen, and he's going to have the Reaper drone here with several Hellfire missiles on 2 screens, and he's going to be able to kill you while he's winning Mario Kart with his buddies. That's how no chance you have. So, and that's in most wars, once you gain air superiority, it's pretty much over. Once you can control once you can control the skies, the enemy can't move his stuff, and you can move yours. And guess what? Guess what's happened in minute 1, second 1 of any civil war here? We already have air superiority. So yeah, but like I said, you want to tell a compelling story, and I'll pay to see it. Go for it. But no, we're not. It's just not.
Zeke asked, "I missed that Scary Movie stream." No, you didn't.
Not yet. Welcome, Zeke. You're brand new. But I wonder who you are because you've been here before. Obviously, you probably never said anything. But if you know about that stream, you're not new. You came here to see Brad suffer.
Yeah. So depending on how you look at it, it's either a good or a bad thing. You haven't missed that stream.
All right, let me play this real quick. What were you about to bring up?
I was gonna bring up the Predator musical. So.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So, and I'm not quite sure because there's 2 here. There's one that's animated, and one that's I think it's like a collage of the movie. So which one is?
I think it's the one at the top. The one at the top.
Okay, I'll bring that up. You go ahead. Here we go. Predator the musical.
How long is it?
It's like a minute and a half.
I'm gonna do this.
We're going on a hunt to kill gorilla shysters.
On a ritual to skin some special forces fighters.
Rolling in hard cause we're armed to the teeth.
Can't see me, I'm invisible, dancing to the beat.
Knock, knock, get down. Listen to the sound of the chopper going boom, make you drop to the ground.
Those guys are really brave, think I'll go out and play. Collect all the skills and prove that I can slay.
There's a hole in Jesse Ventura's chest. Don't know is it a beast or just cardiac arrest. Mark is blasting into a minigun fest. Let's follow his lead and destroy the forest.
Ow, motherfuckers, y'all shot me. You should let me know you wanna party. I'll blow Mac's head, put Dylan to bed. Then I'll polish Billy's skull till it's no longer red. I'm a predator.
Came from space.
Predator.
Alien race.
Predator.
The hunter is the hunted.
Predator.
We have to keep moving cause this alien just dark on their poncho is dead. So get to the chopper! Covered with mud, a sexy new disguise to hide my body heat from his infrared eyes. Built the movie trap out of sticks and plants.
I came here to battle, so get ready to dance now. I'm a predator.
Came from space.
Predator.
Alien race.
Predator.
The hunter is the hunted.
Predator.
Click to the right to see more of the silly cartoons, or click to the left to subscribe. Do it now!
What the hell are you?
I'm assuming Larry. Let me know if that was the right one. He said there won't be any copyright issues. I can't imagine that there would be because they would have already been violated by making that. But that's hilarious.
Yeah, to the chopper.
Oh, by the way, that movie's completely crazy.
Yeah. Oh, so that's not the right one? Are you
Is that the right one, or are you behind?
Oh, so it might have been. So he might have meant the second one. Okay, but that was pretty good. So
hold on, Larry hold on.
Yeah, that was good. Yes, it was clever.
We're way behind on chats.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and pull up and ask if this is the right one. That one's a little bit longer, but yeah, okay, yeah, he's saying it's the one with the clips, so it's like I guess it's like a collage of the clips from the movie. So
Wow,
pull that one up.
That one might get us kicked off.
Okay, well, maybe we can
You
blame
don't have
Larry.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, here we go. Okay. It was like 3.5 minutes
in
long.
the trees, watching and waiting, killing us off one by one. The chopper is close, but this thing is too fast. We won't make it, it's pointless to run. Talk, no more games.
I don't know what it was. The jungle came alive.
Go on.
It happened very fast. Not easy to describe, but you must have wounded it. Unless my eyes deceive, when the big man was killed, its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. She discovered the key. There is proof we can wound it. So repeat after me. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, now take a stand.
Here now, take a stand.
We can bring down this bastard.
We can bring down this bastard.
If we stick to the plan. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
This is like Les Miserables, basically.
Something's out there.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
For us. 2 or 3 men out there at the most. Am I the only one who's awake? I don't believe in goblins and ghosts. Fucking listen, give me a break.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Expendable.
I see ya now, take a stand.
I woke up, why don't you?
So instead of complaining,
Bullshit's not gonna
you should
work.
give us a
I
hand.
got nothing better to do.
I saw it. God damn it, those eyes, they disappeared. It cut down my friend and it ran while I emptied that gun. If it bleeds, we can kill it. I saw it, god damn it.
Stop shaving, you don't have a beard.
That thing will come back, and when it does, I'm gonna have me some fun. If it bleeds,
I'm
gonna have me some fun.
If it bleeds,
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
We can pull out the wind.
We can pull out a wind.
Set a trap for the monster.
Set a trap for the monster.
While we still have our skin.
While we still have our skin.
If it bleeds, we can
2
kill
or
it.
3 men out there.
I believe it can
I'm the
fall.
only one who's awake.
When you're feeling downhearted, just remember the fall. If it bleeds, we can kill it. If it bleeds, I can kill it. Now it's all up to me. Mud all over my body, so the bastard can't see. It's a solo campaign now. Get revenge for my men. Hawkins, Mac, and Ramirez. Billy Dillon and Blaine.
My God. Wow. Let's see if we're still in the air. There we are. I don't think it'll be I don't think so.
10 out of 10, yes. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
This is a masterpiece.
Stop shaming, you don't have a beard.
Yeah, that was funny. Now I'm gonna have all this shit in my head for the whole day. I'll be singing that
Oh,
song.
double impact with Van Damme. Yeah,
No, I can't do that right now.
you could. This is gonna be a minute.
Oh, wow.
Poor William.
Oh,
You're
God.
100%. No, it should have gone up.
No,
like-
it's actually still up at 20.
Yeah, that was, but we got 2 for the price of 1 because I got the wrong one first, and that was also pretty
they're,
good.
they're both ridiculous. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, do that. Here we go.
Got this song.
Hey, where are we at? Yeah, it's gonna be stuck in my head too.
Billy C.
We have 11. We have 11 likes, guys. Let's get up to 20 at least. There we go. All right. Wow. Okay. Where were we?
Silk underwear. Maybe we should take ourselves back to Disneyland.
Get to the chopper. All right. Well, let's hit the chat again. Did we have any other open topics? Anybody want to bring up?
I think we're caught up on the chat here, but yeah, that was give me a Godzilla opera like this, with Godzilla having the voice of Luciano Pavarotti. I might have to request one of these each week. They have RoboCop, Terminator. Oh, really? So they have like a whole cottage industry of like making musicals out of 80s sci-fi classics.
Yeah, it's the whole channel. I think that's part of it. He wants you to like and subscribe. So I'm assuming that there's.
Well, thank you, Larry. It's like I mean, I definitely prefer that to Scary Movie.
All right.
Subscribe, yes, absolutely. Well, we're glad we could bring all that into your evenings tonight, everybody.
Yeah, once again, I failed to keep it to a tight 60 minutes, but hey, here we go. We're at 12. All right. Anybody got anything else? No, we're not. Okay, now look who you started. All right. I don't believe in goblins and ghosts and shit. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
It was a good tribute, I guess, to Carl Weathers on our part here tonight.
All right. Well, I mean, that should put you in a good mood to not even need this, but you know what? You're surrounded by people who are going through some shit. Give them the tools so that they can, all laugh with us. Hey, you know what? Bring them here. Shit, if they're depressed, bring them here. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll have a positive effect on them. We look at the stuff we do. Brad, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Vera. You can find me there on Facebook. Of course, check out all my wonderful writing out there. You can find me, of course.
Who cares?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Who cares? No, I'm just kidding.
The important thing here is, of course, us here on the Sci-Fi Center watching these musical versions of these 80s sci-fi classics. I'm sure you guys are going to be putting 800 requests for that on the next stream. So,
hey, you know what? Larry donated, so there you go. So. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. A little bit more than I thought we were going to handle. I'm going to go ahead and watch Raw because I'm pretty sure that's going to piss me off. And I got some editing. I got some video editing to do for the Winnie the Pooh. The sound quality on that one sucked because I was using StreamYard within StreamYard. So the sound wasn't that good, but the actual video itself I'm going to put up on its own later on today, and the sound quality should be good. And plus, I'll have some forward and afterward on there. That's for the Piglet interview. The next one coming up is going to be Tigger, and then Owl. Woohoo! So that's it. That's all I got. See you guys later on today. We're on like 49 days straight of streaming, I think. So I got to look at some crazy shit. See you guys later.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh.